The topic of picking a main in fighting games has been around from time immemorial. The Egyptians struggled with it, the Greeks studied it for centuries, and the Aztecs had libraries full of books on the matter. Okay, I'm kidding, but it does feel that way sometimes. Fighting games are a peculiar beast in that they don't play as every other game, and there is an emphasis on self-reliance that doesn't really exist in any other genre of the game. Also, characters in a fighting game endure for ages, so you can find yourself stuck with one. Think of picking up a wand from Ollivander's or getting paired with a JoJo stand. Picking a main character in fighting games can be really easy or really difficult depending on how you approach it. Hi, I'm Jammers, and in this video, we'll be looking at how to pick a main in Street Fighter 6. The game is coming out in June, and with the announcement of Cammy, Lily, and Zangief, we now have an 18-person base roster. So, who will you be going for? Or maybe you're new to the franchise and have no idea who is any good. This video will help you with some pointers that will help you in coming to a decision. Street Fighter 6 is definitely going to drive an influx of new players, and at DashFight, we want to give them what they need to know before the huge task of choosing which character they want to be bonded with. Now, we must note that picking a main isn't really like picking a wand, because there are several players who change characters regularly. However, there is a likelihood that you will predominantly be using one or two characters in the game. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and with that, let's get cracking. An underrated part of choosing a main character is how the character is designed. Visual appeal goes a long way in deciding what a player wants to go for. One of the things that made Street Fighter 2 stand out back in the day was how different each character looked. Honda was a sumo wrestler with face paint, Dhalsim had limbs that could stretch across the Atlantic, and Sagat wore an eye patch with a huge scar on his chest. These design choices made the original World Warriors stand out, and for many, they picked characters simply because they looked cool, and this is as valid a reason as any other. In Street Fighter 6, if there's anything that few people can have complaints about, it is character designs, as each character looks really impressive and striking. So, why not have a look at each character and just go for one that stands out most to you? This could be Kimberly for her ninja skills, or maybe Manon, or even the villainous JP. Don't feel you need to explain your decisions, just go for it. The point of any game is for players to have fun. As you improve, then maybe you'll start to have bigger ambitions. But starting out, having fun is certainly the most important thing. But Jammers, you'd say Street Fighter 6 isn't even out yet. Yes, but Street Fighter 2, 3, 4, and 5, along with all the alpha games, are available and fairly easy to lay your hands on. This is the point where I would say you should perhaps pick up the older games and give them a shot. This way, you can start to identify what you like about a character and test to see if you bond with them. Characters like Zangief, Cammy, Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, and so many others have appeared in other Street Fighter games, and while there are a few changes, their style remains the same. So, you can make a decision based on how they play in previous iterations of Street Fighter. If you aren't interested in trying out older Street Fighter games, then you might need to wait till Street Fighter 6 comes out, or get into the next beta. Whatever you decide on, just ensure you pick someone you'll enjoy using. The topic of tier lists are controversial, but they typically have nothing to do with new players and shouldn't bother you when experiencing Street Fighter for the first time. Speaking of playstyles, this is definitely another layer to consider when picking a main for Street Fighter 6. So, what is a playstyle? In simple terms, this is a system of fighting which a player uses as their preferred option when playing a game. So you have your rushdown, grapplers, zoners, setup, or Shoto characters which you can pick from to play. Strictly speaking, any character can be used in any playstyle, but all characters are made with a playstyle in mind. For instance, Cammy is as rushdown as they come, and all the tools at her disposal scream this. So if she were to be used as a weird grappler type command grab thingy, she could work, but it wouldn't be the most effective use of the character. Let's just say some characters are more flexible than others. The point I'm making is that if you are new to fighting games, consider what sort of playstyle you are attracted to, and you can make a choice based on that. And if you are someone with some fighting game experience, you probably have an idea what sort of style you will prefer. So you could check out older games and see which character you want, Or you can just make a decision based on what we've seen so far. With all the developer matches and showcases, we have a bit of an idea of what characters will be looking to do. You could use that as a basis for picking your main in Street Fighter 6. Some people say that fighting games are hard to learn, but this is a subjective view. Can fighting games be hard to learn? Yes. Are they actually hard to learn? No. This brings us to our next consideration when picking a main, which is the ease of learning. One of the beauties of fighting games is that there are so many diverse ways to play the game, and a plethora of characters that can give you what you want. This means that for the technically inclined, they have the characters that suit, and for the mashers, here's looking at you Honda players, there are the characters that work for them too. All fighting game developers want new people to play their games, so you will always find characters with varying degrees of difficulty in terms of learning. Picking a main could come down to how easy they are to learn. For instance, Ryu is a fairly simple character to pick up, and he was specifically designed that way so that more people would give him a try. So, have a look at the characters, try them if you will, and gauge how easy each one is to use. This could be a very long way in helping you decide if you want to main them, or go for something else. That said, if you're willing to put in the time, technical or difficult characters can be very rewarding. Ultimately, it all depends on you. What do you like? Go for it. And the last tip will be for those who have some experience with Street Fighter. Don't be afraid to switch it up. Maybe you were always a Cammy main, and now Kimberly looks really good. Character loyalty is overrated. Make the jump if that's how you feel. Trying out new ways to play is also a surefire way to improve your gameplay. So, if perhaps you have a character you have always liked that isn't in Street Fighter 6 yet, or if you just want to see what else is out there, take this as your cue to just give it a shot. You might like it, and who knows, you might have a new main. And yeah, that's it. Street Fighter 6 comes out in June, and you could potentially have a main by then. What character are you most excited to try out, and who do you think will be the most stressful character to fight? Let us know in the comments down below. That's all from me. Now, I'm going back to waiting impatiently for Street Fighter 6, and I'll see you in the next video.